Am I trying to make it? Yeah, try to make it. Alright.
Fever WNBA season opener versus Sky, game keys beyond Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. At long last the 2025 WNBA season has arrived. For fans of the Indiana Fever, this means the first real look at the squad's overhauled roster in one of 5 matchups against the Chicago Sky. With both teams improved heading into the new campaign, here is a look at how the contest could be decided. Battle of the Boards. Fever coach Stephanie White remarked about the challenge of keeping the Sky Bigs off the glass during a recent practice, which is probably a good indicator she sees that as a key to the outcome. Chicago obviously boasts a formidable front court, spearheaded by Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese. Reese led the league in rebounds per game in 2024, but Cardoso should play a larger role for the Sky this season as well, meaning her presence will be felt near the rim. The Fever did bring in some size in the offseason, but still don't feature too many huge bodies in the vein of Chicago's personnel. Indiana will look to rebound by committee with the additions of Natasha Howard, Duane Bonner and Brianna Turner hopefully leading to an improvement on a weak area from last year. Transition attack. If the Fever can clean up the defensive glass, they should be able to get out and run, and they have a decided advantage over the Sky in transition. Asking Cardoso, Reese and others to keep up with Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell and the team's new versatile forwards is a tall task. Especially if Clark is able to get rebounds herself and go. In addition, the Fever are able to spread the floor with shooting, and a defense that isn't set is at the mercy of the plethora of offensive talent Indiana possesses. Building chemistry. With new players, comes an adjustment period. This is something to watch for both the Fever and Sky. Chicago should operate more smoothly offensively with veteran floor general Courtney Vandersloot at the helm, however, in integrating her trade acquisition Ariel Atkins and others. It could still take a bit of time before the team hits peak efficiency. Transition attack. If the Fever can clean up the defensive glass, they should be able to get out and run, and they have a decided advantage over the Sky in transition. Asking Cardoso, Reese and others to keep up with Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell and the team's new versatile forwards is a tall task. Especially if Clark is able to get rebounds herself and go. In addition, the Fever are able to spread the floor with shooting, and a defense that isn't set is at the mercy of the plethora of offensive talent Indiana possesses. Of course, the same goes for Indiana. While the team's foundation remains the same, the rest of the roster has changed. It's only natural for there to be some growing pains in the process of acclimating all the new pieces. Injury aspect. Clark appears to be none the worse for wear when it comes to the quad tightness that plagued her in the preseason. But Sophie Cunningham's ankle injury is perhaps the biggest storyline heading into the game. Cunningham looks to be an X-factor for the Fever given her versatility and toughness. So it will be a tough short-term blow if she is unable to go in the season opener. Anytime the Fever and Sky face off there will be a lot of attention around Clark and Reese heading in. And while the two stars will be obvious keys for their respective teams, the outcome will be decided by a variety of details. Chicago presents a specific challenge to Indiana due to size and what should be a more focused offensive attack. Still, the Fever's firepower across the board could prove too much for the Sky to handle. Stephanie White shares big concern about Fever's matchup with Chicago Sky. Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White has one big thing on her mind before Saturday's showdown against the Chicago Sky. Exactly 2 days, the Indiana Fever will be playing in a WNBA regular season basketball game. This will mark the first game that actually counts for the franchise in 234 days, which is a staggering amount of time that Fever fans have had to wait to see their beloved team back on the court, competing for something that will show up in the standings. What's more, this regular season opener game is against the Chicago Sky, who are arguably Indiana's biggest rival to this point largely because of the longtime rivalry between Fever star Caitlin Clark and Sky standout Angel Reese. There's no doubt that the Sky's biggest strength is their front court, especially Reese and her fellow second-year forward Camila Cardoso. How are we gonna keep those bigs off the boards? That's what's gonna be going through my mind, White said when predicting her state of mind during Saturday's game. Per a YouTube video from Scott Ignice Stoney east of the next Thoops posted an X video of him asking White about Cunningham's injury, while Cunningham was shooting corner threes just a few feet behind White. Before White could offer a response, Cunningham sang, "Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play today," which is a reference to John Fogerty's iconic centerfield song. Cunningham then added, "I'm going crazy. ESPN knows people want to watch Caitlin Clark." How it balances Fever with other WNBA storylines. I would say it wasn't just the Caitlin Clark effect, but she has certainly contributed to it since she's been part of our popular culture, ESPN Vice President of Studio Production Hillary Guy told IndyStar. But I would say this coming out of the wobble in 2020, and that first season back, that's where I think you really saw interest and intentionality from viewers to follow WNBA-specific storylines. Viewership shot up across all networks that aired WNBA and Fever games in 2024, and ESPN specifically saw a 170% increase in viewership between '23 and '24. The network averaged 1.19 million viewers per game between ABC, ESPN and ESPN2,